Good afternoon, Cowboy Jim, Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada. Been taking a few days sabbatical almost, just watching my YouTube channel a little bit and realizing that either I've really gone downhill. Oh, geez, looks like I have. Or just the season, just the time in season where people have a whole lot more to do than sit around looking at a laptop. And I think that's really wonderful. Um, I get out every morning somewhere between 5:30 and 7 and just breathe some fresh air. We have a lot of it up here, a lot of fresh air in Fort Mac, and well, with the sun shining and all that sort of stuff. And I, I, I try to balance out the stupidity of watching too much news and understanding too much of what goes on in between the lines. And but I succumb. Um, I just do. I don't really think it's much of a life, um, but hey, it's where I'm at today, and so them's the breaks. And but anyways, I I am intrigued in a nominal sort of way. That's what happens when you live alone. I mean, gee, it doesn't take too much to entertain you when you're not used to too much entertainment. You don't miss it as much. I think I miss it. Anyways, I was watching, and I keep track of COVID, like I really do, um, because there are things you can talk about, and there are things that you're not allowed to talk about. I watch Elon Musk, and he was the Democratic liberal in the states savior of the economy, of the world, of global warming, all those things. I mean, gee, didn't he just teach NASA how to send people into space and hook them up with a space station up there and just do everything from a business standpoint, common sense of business, and kind of like Donald Trump. And but Donald Trump, he screwed up. He declared that he wanted the U.S. to be great, and I don't even think he said great again, but that's what he meant. That's what I would mean, because so much of the equity, the value that is placed on countries is determined by those who run the news, the media that report, keep track of all the things that please them and hide everything that is not according to their political agenda. And so COVID's been very interesting for me, and I've been censured once already, warned, you talk about this and you're in trouble. So I'm not going to talk about that. It's not that I'm afraid of trouble, but mm, I, I, I'm bored, eh? Like I really am. And gee, there's not a single country bar in Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada. I go out amongst the English here, and that goes back to a Harrison Ford movie with a Amish girl and her little son, and gee, it was good. Um, but I go out, and I don't go out much. Um, I'm the only person, but for one or two people in Fort Mac over the last 5 years, 6 years, who wear a Western hat. But we're in Western Canada. I mean, we are. This is Alberta. This is where you have the freedom to. You're supposed to have the freedom to do what it is you choose to do, and forget the rest. Don't be disquieted by everything that you see going on around you, but be joyful of being able to breathe, uh, being able to live, process thought, think things through, establish for yourself your mindset, how you choose, what you choose to believe in, to walk in, to live in, to be a part of. It's your choice. And so I I I watched with great interest this last while the Democratic Party in the States. They set up a disinformation lady who headed up this wonderful organization that they could control the information that was disseminated out amongst the news people, out amongst the people who are attentive. And it was their responsibility to ban everything that they deemed as being wrong. Not necessarily wrong according to the science. We have spoken about the ice age in the early 80s we were all going to enter into, which soon became global warming, depending on who you talk to, why you would talk to them, why you would listen to them in the first place. And now we have Elon Musk. What a man. He has decided that he no longer will vote Democrat liberal. No longer. He was the liberals, the Democratic Party in the U.S. Because of making his, well, SpaceX, of course, but because he made electric cars, and he really did a good job. And now, because he has said he's going to become a conservative, he is hated, he is loathed, despised. Not because he's changed his perspective, but he has changed his political evaluation of the various parties, only two down there, and what they stand for. And because he in a world of freedom, has made certain choices for himself, he is deemed unworthy. And everything that he's done in his life up to this juncture is unworthy. It's no longer viable. The good thing he's done, the good many things he's done, they don't count because he is becoming a conservative. And that irritates the hell out of the people who want conformity. They want everyone to think as they do in order to justify the rightness, really the correctness of what it is they believe. And if you don't believe the way you're supposed to, and you protest, well, we all know what happened to the Canadian Freedom Convoy, don't we? We all know what happened to Justin Trudeau when he went and met with the EU. And 3/4 of them got up and walked out of the building. They left. They wouldn't listen to him. Before they did, Christine Anderson gave him hell. And really did a good job. That little girl, I'd like to shake her hand one day. My goodness, she was good. And Trudeau, corrupt base, carrying on the family tradition. Humiliate the Canadian people. Why worry? Trudeau's dad one time said, you can do anything to a Canadian citizen, and 3 months later they'll re-elect you. Well, that's not true. But it could be true if you and I forget what is going on. So let's go back to the States. Let's go back to Elon Musk and say that gentleman, who is actually, in actual fact, the richest man in the world, has changed his political belief system to choose for himself to become a conservative. Now, Elon was trying diligently, is still trying diligently, to buy Twitter. And he explained that he was buying Twitter in order to implement an opportunity for there to be freedom of choice, free speech. You have free speech. Mm, do you speak more than two people at a time? If you do, you're at risk, at peril. Freedom of speech is something that is looked upon as being viable, valuable only if you agree with those who align themselves with you and or you align yourself to their liberal beliefs. I think it's shameful, myself personally. And so I watched the disinformation crew come unglued 3 weeks after they started under the Democratic Party. And I thought, what is going on here that I'm not seeing? And then last night on Tucker Carlson, I discovered what it was that I wasn't seeing. And that is that the Democratic Party down in the States no longer need a monitoring system in the U.S. that would curtail misinformation. But it's not misinformation, it's information that the Democratic Party don't want people to know about. Doesn't mean it's wrong information. It means that the Democratic Party, the Liberal Party in the U.S., wish to control what you are allowed to hear. Now, the big thing is all the liberal news medias, CNN, whatever, well, you could say CBC up here, CNBC, MSN, whatever, they have collectively started to realize that they must needs speak out against Joe Biden's directorship of the United States of America because he has within his power the ability not only to provide a formula for children, not 5, 6, 7 months after his own government curtailed the production of formula in Abbott manufacturing of baby formula and other stuff. But they waited so long that it became a crisis. And now mothers are out of fear, wondering what are they going to do in order to feed the children. Okay, second. Democratic Party under Joe Biden curtailed, limited, tried desperately, said so, that they wanted to eliminate all fossil fuels. Brilliant. When Elon Musk, the manufacturer of possibly the best electric vehicles in the world, says you have to have fossil fuels. I mean, you do, in order to produce the cars that run on batteries. You do. It's just simple. But Biden found a way to stop Keystone Pipeline. He found a way to stop new exploration. He found a way of oil to curtail exploration of oil in Alaska, and so on and so on. And now the idiot, that's Joe Biden. Well, it could be Justin Trudeau, but in this instance, it's Joe Biden. This isn't a tirade, a rant. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's black and white. It's in print. You listen. You can't miss it. If you do, it's your choice because it's there and it's real. So, Joe, baby formula, okay, fossil fuels. I mean, it's called the perfect storm. Okay, second. That's second. We'll go a little further. What else is Joe doing to denigrate humiliate his own country. Open borders, of course. Where, incidentally, at the southern border, there is a stockpile of baby formula that is there for the purpose, the sole purpose, not of taking care of American babies, but any immigrants who come into the country across the Rio Grande and need baby formula, so they have it. The impropriety of that is just astounding. So we have the stupidity of open borders. We have fuel prices that are through the roof, and we have babies crying at night because they're hungry. And Joe Biden's not done, nor the Democratic Party in the States. Last night on Tucker Carlson, I don't care for Tucker Carlson, okay? A little too melodramatic for me. I don't like his laugh. I mean, I like the content of what he says. If he could just divest himself of that terrible laugh, it takes his words and negates them, diminishes them. And his words are meritorious. He has good writers. And I mean, they have a lot to choose from, a lot of stupidity to choose from. Whether it's Hunter Biden's laptops and Joe Biden's family wealth that continues to increase, Fauci's amazing income, not from being a government servant, but from his investments in so many areas of medical concerns. Do you ever get tired of that? Do you ever just say, why can't people be what they say they are? Why can't they just be honest once? So, you ever hear of a little organization called the World Health Organization, WHO? The U.S. has signed an agreement with WHO to give the World Health Organization complete monitoring power of information, disinformation on pandemics. But it does not end there. The U.S. has given the World Health Organization absolute freedom to take over every aspect of the United States of America if they, the WHO, whose leader is really good friends with Xi Jinping, absolute authority on the behavior, on the information or disinformation that is spread out through the states. A while back, thank God, Trudeau has done something right. Huawei is being curtailed by the Canadian government about a year or two late because they handle so much techno information about Canada, Canadians manufacturing, our manufacturing and everything. So when you listen to the news, if you do, and I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. Hey, I mean, it's sickening because so much is afoot to screw you and I that there is a political saying. It says, don't ever let a good tragedy go to waste. Always, always pursue your agenda. The agenda down in the States is kill fossil fuel and open the doors for the new Green Deal. Well, children, it truly is a waste of breath. But if stuff is going on that is laying the groundwork for your, not demise, but for the control that government and people have over you, then you should be aware of it. And so, watch your little news once. God bless, see? You have a good day. Let's see how long this takes to get online. It may make it pretty quick, it may not. God bless, see?